What's up? Jacob here with another plugin breakdown video. This time it's kind of like a 2-in-1. I was lucky enough to get access to DJ Swivel's suites of plugins, and today I want to demonstrate my use of the HitStrip and the BDE distortion box. Let's jump into it. So first, let's take a look at DJ Swivel's HitStrip. This is essentially like an all-in-one plugin. And just to give you a visual of how this went down when I started testing this, I took a song. This is a song by a client of mine, Gael. It's called I'm the One. Dope track. I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out. Produced again by one of my good friends, Luca. And just to give you a visual of how powerful these two plugins are together, I'm going to break them down each individually, and then I'll give you a kind of an overview of how I use both together. I have here a duplicated lead vocal of the verse. So this is my original chain here with like the inserts full of just a bunch of stuff doing little moves to culminate to the sound that I liked. And then I did a duplicate and I tried to recreate that, and it kind of turned out even better. So I'm a little upset in this track here. So it's the same verse vocal, but with two plugins, the HitStrip and the BDE. Let's take a quick listen to the A/B between the two vocals. One was the original mix and one is with the HitStrip and BDE. This is the OG vocals.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose. Run back to her, I won't run after you.
DJ Swivel.
How could you touch her? Thought she was bad news. Got me confused cause you won't
OG.
tell the truth. Nah.
Swivel.
Your homie told me that he saw you coming out her house.
Mine.
And I remember when you told me that you had to leave her cause it...
So already you can see just with the quick A/B, I used two plugins to do the work of what I did with 8, and it sounds even better. So shame on me for being a terrible mixer. Let's look at the settings that I have dialed in for this on Gael's vocal. So we got the HitStrip. I'll give you a quick overview of how this thing is laid out. Essentially, think of it like a channel strip. You have the input section, the gate section, the DeEsser, then the dynamics, then the EQ, then the exciter, and you even have a transient shaper, which I didn't use in this case. You have a lot of other stuff like a limiter at the end. You have the input and output. Trim, you could use compression or expansion. You could do mono processing, stereo processing. You could do mid, side. You have this color or saturation knob here at the top as well, which I didn't even play with, but I'm curious to see what it does, and the stereo width. You also can change these to be in whatever order you want. If I want the EQ before the dynamics, or the DeEsser before the dynamics, or the exciter before the dynamics, you can do all of that. You can move things around to your heart's content. Now let me put these all back to how they were, and let's play it without the HitStrip.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose.
Bypass it.
Run back to her, I won't run after you. How could you touch her? Thought she was...
The crazy thing is the gain is pretty matched up. It's more compressed, it's a little brighter, it's a little more exciting. You can see that I'm outputting about the same as the input. So I'm really not deceiving myself with loudness necessarily. It's really, it's so much more exciting. Let's play with that color knob now.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose. Run back to her, I won't run after you. How could you touch her? Thought she was bad.
I love what I would call a GUI, the graphic user interface. I think this plugin looks incredible. You can notice that when I add more excitement, there's more blue at the bottom. When I take it away, it goes down. When I add more color, you can see the RTA graph gets more red. Sounds incredible. Let's bypass it again. And you could also see that I'm doing some dynamic EQing, which is really powerful as far as tools go. You could be using things like Pro MB or a C4 or a C6 by Waves, but instead I could do it using this dynamic EQ within the plugin itself. So I could do all of my heavy lifting within the same plugin, which is what makes this plugin so attractive to me. I could do anything I want within one channel strip, which is so sweet. Let's take a look at the BDE now. We open this up. I have kind of preset that I dialed in that I went and looked around. You'll see in here in the factory presets, there's a good bunch of presets here. I kind of went and did I flipped through them until I found something that was kind of interesting, and then I dialed it back with this mix knob. So you could see from the top left all the way down, you have the mix, which is just your classic dry, wet blend. You have this downsample, which is essentially like truncating the bit depth of the sound, which is very interesting and sometimes cool to try. On the right here, you have this compressor knob with a soft or hard compression that you could dial in to taste. It has a fixed threshold, so you either drive into it or don't. Just below it, you have a bit crush, which we all know what bit crushing does. Sounds like this.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose. Run back to after you.
So kind of cool if you want to get some interesting kind of saturation profiles. In the middle here, you have the drive, which is just the global input drive of the plugin. And then down here, you have, first of all, you have mid-side processing if you wanted. You have this kind of filter, which you could set a range at which your frequency spectrum gets affected by the plugin itself. You have a kind of a tone knob, so you can go a little brighter, a little darker down here. And then here you have your high pass to not have the low end be triggering the compression, for example. And then, of course, on the left side, you have your input gain, and on the right side, you have your output gain here. Then you could do pre or post, and you have also these different kind of characteristics of distortions: nuke, napalm, mortar, grenade, Molotov, cherry bomb. So I dialed in something really quick here. Let's do a little bit of an A/B.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose. Run back to her.
Let's level out the gain a little bit better.
How could you touch her? Thought she was bad news. Got me confused cause you won't tell the truth. No.
It's just adding a little bit of top-end excitement here with the distortion, and then the combination between the two, between the HitStrip and the BDE, is just incredible. Let's take these off and listen just to the raw vocal.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose.
Turn it back on.
Run back to her, I won't run after you. How could you touch her? Thought she
Bypass.
was bad news. Got me confused cause you won't tell the truth.
Now again, let's compare what I had originally in this mix and what I've dialed in with the HitStrip and the BDE. This is the OG.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose. Run back to her, I won't run after you.
DJ Swivel.
How could you touch her? Thought she was bad news. Got me confused cause you
OG.
won't tell the truth. No. Your homie told me that he saw you coming out her house. And I remember when you told me that you had to leave her cause it wasn't working out. Now every time I leave town, all my messages go green and my intuition's never cheap.
Let's bypass the HitStrip.
You look so stupid, you play games to lose. Run back to her, I won't run after you. How could you touch her? Thought she was bad news.
Just so much more clarity and definition in the vocal. Bypass.
Your homie told me that he saw you coming out her house. And
So much more definition, clarity, more saturation. It's more exciting. It's got more personality, more flavor. All these weird adjectives that we only use in the audio space and nowhere else. And let's check with the BDE again. Let's take this off.
you look so stupid, you play games to lose. Run back to her, I won't run
Back on.
after you. How could you touch her?
Bypass.
Thought she was bad news. Got me
It's subtle, but it's
confused 'cause
adding a
you
little
won't
bit of
tell
excitement.
the truth. No.
Back on.
Your homie told me that he saw you coming
Off.
out her house. And I remember when you told me that you had to leave her cause it wasn't working out. Now
Altogether, super dope. I was able to use 2 plugins to replace literally 8 plugins in a vocal chain using the DJ Swivel HitStrip, the DJ Swivel BDE distortion box. Altogether, really great plugins. You should definitely check them out. I'll put a link in the description for you to go check those. I'm Mixed with Jacob. We'll see you soon.